guys, we're going to be doing DIY macrame things today. We're going to be doing a DIY macrame wall hanging, which will actually use this thing. If you're new here, my name is Mwende Kimondo, and on this channel we do DIYs, we do home makeovers, we do home decor, we do home improvement things. So it would be really amazing if you would consider subscribing and joining our cool community over here. If you've already subscribed, you know how we do it. So as I mentioned last week, we have an office / chilling area that is bohemian theme that we're going to be styling, and macrame is usually a huge part of bohemian things. So we're going to be starting with our macrame wall hanging. For my wall hanging, the things that I need for me to do this wall hanging, and this is one of the most nice things about macrame. Macrame usually needs very few supplies. So you're going to need an anchor or a stick or a loop, whatever it is you're going to be using. I picked up this stem at the timber yard that is right next to where I live. It was actually free. I picked up a stem that was 42 inches long because my macrame design needed to be around 3 feet wide and around 3 feet tall. The next thing you're going to be needing is macrame cord. I got this macrame cord from River Road from a shop called Darit Textiles. The shop is between Odeon and that other street. What is that other street called? And I got one of these balls for 200 shillings, and one ball is about 30 meters. The next thing you're going to need is going to be a pair of scissors, and you're also going to need a tape measure to measure out the macrame as you're cutting it. It is good to note that this is the first time I am doing any serious large macrame anything. So I decided to go with a design that seemed simple enough to accomplish, just simple and basic enough. So today I will be using 2 knots for my wall hanging, and I want to show you those knots so that as I'm going on to implement them, they will be making sense as we go. So the first knot I'm going to be showing you is called a lax knot, and what you do is you have your macrame cord folded in 2 like this, and then you will go over like this over your anchor, whether it's another thread, whether it's a piece of wood. You'll go over it like this, and then you'll go inside it. I don't know how else to explain it, guys. So this is called a lax knot. So we're going to be doing 2 lax knots actually, more accurately. Yes, so now that is what is called a lax knot. The other knot I'm going to be using in my macrame wall hanging is going to be a knot that's called double half hitch knot. And what that knot is that you use this last piece as an anchor. The anchor is like the thing that's never going to move, the one that you're tying things around. And what you do is you come in with this. Let me tie this away so that we don't confuse it, we don't get in confusions. And so what you do is you come in with one of these middle ones, and then you go under it like this, and then inside it like that. Okay, so that's one. The next thing is going to be cutting up the macrame. Now when you're determining how to cut up your macrame, I read up online and I saw that they say if you want your macrame to be 36 inches tall, for example, you multiply that by a factor of 4. Yes, and then now you will double that. So that 36 by 4 is 144, for example, and then you'll have double, so 288 inches. I hope that makes sense. But then I have been realizing, I've been reading up that you multiply it by a factor of 4 so that you factor for all the manipulation and all the knots and all that beautiful stuff. But now, depending on the complexity of the macrame design that you'll be doing, the macrame knots, that can slightly change the factor. So some of my cord I'm going to be multiplying by a factor of 4, and some of them I'm going to be multiplying up to a factor of 2 because they are not going through so much manipulation. The easiest way to cut is to place 2 objects. So for example, if I'm cutting 80 inches, is to place 2 objects 40 inches away from each other and then just loop it. Because for example, I need 36 strands that are 80 inches tall. Can you imagine just doing that? You know, you're gonna spend the whole day there. So it's to place 2 objects 40 inches apart and then loop, and then
I guess we did have some good times back then, and all those memories that stayed the same. Told me what that I saw.
Let me give you kids a very... Do you kids like stories? Let me give you a very sad story. I'm only now just realizing I've not recorded this whole part. You know what had happened? I had finished the inside layer that I was talking about, and I wanted to go in with the next layer. I was going for my macrame that's cut up and organized. And I was like, let me just check and make sure the camera is, you know, the angles are correct. And then that's the situation. Oh my God, guys. Okay, let's get into the second part of it. What can we do now? What else can be done? What else shall be done? Nothing we can do. Nothing I can do. Nothing you can do. Nothing anybody can do. This is the inner layer of it. So now I want to go outside with the outer layer of it. This is the lax knot, this is the lax knot, and then this is the double hitch half knot or double half hitch knot. It's that knot. The shape we are going for is something like that, and then a huge one hanging in the middle, okay, and then another something like that. Okay, there you go. It's our lax knot. So with this folded like this, we're gonna now create our second lax knot. And how you create a lax knot when you cannot round up the whole thing, my computer does not want me to prosper. Go over it and then come up like this, okay, around it, and then go all the way in the back and then up and then through it. And then now I'm going to be doing another lax knot throughout this with all this cord that I cut up. Now most of the cord that I'm going to put here is going to be the 80 feet one, the one that's 40 on each side, but on these last edges and in the middle, because I will be doing a little something with those 2 cords specifically, I made them a little bit longer. This is 128 inches. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, guys, is the double half hitch knot, and we're going to use this last cord as the anchor. These 2. This is going to be the anchor going this way, and this is going to be the anchor going into the middle.
My head in the clouds, I don't know where we go. I feel like it's changed love. I'm losing my mind, feeling that kind of love. I feel like a deep hole. You give me something that I can't give you here. Tell me what you're thinking, I need to know you're feeling. If you crush on me, you need to know my story. But don't get too close to me, cause I need my fantasy. Here I am, falling down, crashing down, and I feel like I don't need you. Here I am, falling down, deep inside, and I feel like I don't need you. the darkest sin. You give me something that I can't give you here. Tell me what you're thinking, I need to know you're feeling. If you crush on me, you need to know my story. But don't get too close to me, cause I need my fantasy. You give me something that I can't give you here. Tell me what you're thinking, I need to know you're feeling. If you crush on me, you need to know my story. But don't get too close to me, cause I need my fantasy. Here I am, falling down, crashing down, and I feel like I don't need you. Here I am, falling down, deep inside, and I feel like I don't need you.
So guys, after a long, I don't know how many hours of sitting here, and my legs don't even work anymore. My legs can't move. You know those, when you sit for long periods of time and then you feel like there's so many needles like in your leg. So the only thing now we need to do is the design that I want to do is that this place I want to fringe it out. I don't know how else to say it, to fringe it out, like to remove the individual threads to just be on their own, and for this one as well. And then I want us to go through the whole thing with a pair of and polish it. And you see, like, this cut is not so clean, it needs to be as clean as possible. So I'm going to be cutting this like this, just giving it clean cuts and shaping it a little bit better.
See the sun goes down, driving lights in hearts, counting trees around. This is our day to dream. My heart it's cursed with you. My heart is cursed with you. Just get me a
And in case you want to see more videos on the channel, I'm going to leave some more makeovers for you over here, and I'm going to leave for you where to get anything. We have looked at quite some home decor stuff. I'm going to leave that for you over here. And if you want to subscribe, this is how you do it. This is how the actions happens. This. Bye guys.